From W.T. Woodson High School in Fairfax, Virginia. WHCS Cable Channel 5 Sports presents the Group AAA Division VI State Football Semifinals. The Kecoughtan Warriors versus the Chantilly Chargers. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz, and we welcome you to W.T. Woodson High School for the battle for the state semifinals between the once defeated Kecoughtan Warriors and the once beaten Chantilly Chargers. And Bob, we don't know a lot about this Chantilly team other than the fact that they are just once beaten and ranked very highly in their division.
Well, Tim, like a lot of the teams from the north, they run the wing T, which is a lot of misdirection in the backfield. The key to that, as if you're on defense for Kecoughtan, they will key on the guards. Watch where the guards and the tackles will pull to set up traps and that sort of thing. So we'll look for misdirection from the Chargers today.
The game conditions, cold, rainy, not particularly a nice day for the fans, but a semifinal matchup in December, late November. You can't really expect a whole lot more than that. We have the toss of the coin was won by Chantilly, and they have deferred to the second half. So Kecoughtan is going to receive to open the ball game for this contest. Your game officials for this afternoon's contest: Reuben Terry will be the referee, Bob Lenore will be the umpire, Monty Sanders the linesman, the line judge is Dan Felger, Carson Kelly is the back judge, and Vince DeVito is the field judge. W.T. Woodson, the site of the semifinals.
Well, Tim, you and I have been up here before when Hampton played in the, and I can go back to '88 and '89 when they played up here and they played W.T. Not W.T. Woodson, but team out of Fairfax also. T.C. Williams is what I was trying to think of.
One of those initials. Yeah.
Right. I knew it had to be initials somewhere. But we have been here. It's fine facilities. They always treat us good when we come up here, and its field looks like it's in decent condition for this late in the season.
Now, we do want the fans to know this afternoon, of course, because of the commitment to do the Hampton Crabbers game, that this was done with a one-camera shot, although I think from time to time you'll be very pleasantly surprised at the clarity of our coverage. And, you know, we appreciate the opportunity to bring this game to the fans, as Kecoughtan has had their best season ever. And at 11-1, Kurt Newsom and his group certainly should be highly commended. Of course, this game videotaped on Saturday, the 30th of November, 1996, as the Kecoughtan Warriors and the Chantilly Chargers get set to go. Jovan Quillen, of course, will be the quarterback for the Kecoughtan Warriors. He's done a really fine job for the Warriors this year.
Well, he really has, Tim, and what the coaching staff over at Kecoughtan are just so pleased with this young man. His father was a coach, and he comes from a great background, but he went from a running back to a quarterback and has really improved as the season goes along. And, you know, they are very high on him, as all these young men. They've got a great weight program that goes on during the summer that the coaches figure have won some games for them because they're stronger, they're better conditioned than they have been in the past.
And of course, Quillen on the season, 40 of 86 with just 5 interceptions. That's phenomenal in the 12-game season.
Well, most certainly is.
828 yards passing on the season for Jovan Quillen. The coaches for this afternoon, you want to talk about the coaches, of course, for the Kecoughtan Warriors.
Right, and as you know, Kurt Newsom is the head coach, Jack Jenkins, Jonathan Wilson, Revis Conrad, we're glad to have him back after a hurt foot, Brian Hebert, Dan Thompson, Al Morrow, Chip West, Scott Roberts, Jason Robertson, and Scott Woodley are the coaches for the Warriors.
And of course, for the Chargers, their head coach is Dan Muir, Henry Bruno, Jeff Davey, Fred Welch, Frank Feeney, Bob Shaw, Steve Friend, Jim Novak, Chris Haddock, and Bob Herb are the coaches and the assistant coaches for the Chantilly Chargers. Kecoughtan Warriors will be set to receive the opening kickoff. 11-1, the Kecoughtan Warriors, their only defeat on the season, a 3-point loss in the second game of the season at the hands of the Hampton Crabbers. And boy, what a team that's been this year. All right, we're set to go. The kick is in the air. It's going to be into and out of the end zone. And again, we remind those fans that may not be familiar with a couple of high school rules. First of all, you have 12-minute quarters in high school football. And secondly, you cannot return a ball. Of course, that one won't be coming out because no one went to get it. But if the ball goes into the end zone and it's fielded or even touches the end zone, there is no opportunity for a run back.
And that is done for safety reasons, if nothing else, for the high school athletes.
All right, we'll give you the offensive and defensive lineups right after this play, as Kecoughtan will start from their 20-yard line. Jovan Quillen over the center. Hand off to number 14, Derek Quash, for a couple of tough yards.
And as we got this break, we'll show the offense for the Warriors. At center, we have Clint Melton, the guards, Jarvis Rogers and Matt Hauser, the tackles, Kevin Thacker and Eddie Lemon. The tight end, Stafford Brown, the split end, Howard Dunlap, Marshall, Haggard is one flanker, Quillen, Morant, and Quash are in the backfield.
The pitch to Quash, and he gets close to the 27-yard line before he's driven out of bounds. It'll bring up a third down and about 3 for the Warriors. And let's show you now the Chantilly defense. The tackles are Sledge and Comey. Stark and Edmondson are the ends for Chantilly. Balance of the defense, the linebackers, Matthey, Cage, Smith, and Burns. The corners are Davis and Roble. And Boaju is the safety for the Chantilly Chargers, number 3. Third down and about 3 for Kecoughtan. Now on the quarterback keeper, Quillen with a nice job struggling all the way out close to the 40-yard line before he's driven back, but that will be enough for a Kecoughtan first down.
Well, Tim, what Jovan did that time is the play before they run the option where you fake to the fullback and then pitch the ball. That time he faked to the fullback and then followed the fullback, used him as a blocker. Great job that time reading the defense by Jovan Quillen.
They've marked the ball right at the Kecoughtan 40-yard line. First down and 10 to go. Five-3 defense being utilized by Chantilly. Nothing happening in the middle of the line as the defense was right there to stuff the play. One of the Chantilly players getting up off the pile, that's 86, Josh Stark, who made the stop on the running play.
Well, that was just a quick hitter, really a little misdirection in the backfield by the Warriors. Everybody going to the right, and he handed off like a back handoff to the going off the right side.
Second down and 10 after no gain on the play. A mix-up in the backfield as it appeared that the handoff was supposed to take place, but the running back did not take the ball, and Quillen, very fortunately for Kecoughtan, was able to hold on to the ball.
Well, Tim, I think basically what that was again, he was going to fake the handoff, but the runner ran into the quarterback, and that really just threw off the entire timing in that backfield. Kecoughtan is a pretty smooth team, so you won't find that happening very often.
Picked up about a half a yard, maybe even a yard on the play, which will bring up a third down and 9 for the Warriors. Here early in the first quarter, Quillen wants to pass, throws long, has a man open. Both the defender and the intended receiver, who is Howard Dunlap, fell down. But let's see how they call this, as a penalty flag is down on the play.
Well, that was number 6, Mike Roble, back there defending, but it looked like there was definite contact. How are they going to call that, offense or defense? And normally they're going to call that against the defense. Oh, they didn't.
So they call it against the Kecoughtan Warriors. And our referee, Ruben Terry, will indicate to us in just a moment the official call as they'll discuss the options. It was third down and 9 for the Warriors, so if they refuse the play, it would be fourth down. I believe it was third down and 9.
Well, Tim, that was a very big call, because it sure looked like to me that the contact was both of them were in contact, so there really should have been no flag on the play. I don't know how you can distinguish between one and the other, but that's what the officials are out there for.
A very crucial call, because not only is it a 15-yard penalty, but there's a loss of down associated with that as well. So the Warriors don't even get a chance to replay the down. So obviously Chantilly would take the call, because they get not only the 15-yard penalty, but make it fourth down. So Mike Grimm will be standing back deep inside of his 15, just barely got it away as a couple of the on-rushing Chantilly Chargers almost got a hand on that ball, and they will have excellent field position as they'll take it at midfield, 1st and 10 here in the first quarter, with no score between the Kecoughtan Warriors and the Chantilly Chargers.
Well, Tim, we will pick a player of the game from the Kecoughtan Warriors tonight, and that player receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Buckwalter Engraving, located at Kecoughtan Road in Hampton, and the shirt comes from Islander Hardware and Sporting Goods, located in Poquoson.
All right, we're going to be showing you the offensive and defensive sides for the other teams in just a moment. First down at midfield.
What great field position to start off with, Tim.
And Jose Negron had a shot at the running back, but he eluded the tackle and picked up about 3 yards. So that is number 3, Bowa Ju, who carried for the Chargers, picked up about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Give you the defense now for the Kecoughtan Warriors.
Well, at the tackles are Melton and Bradshaw, the ends are Lemon and Brown. The linebackers, we got 2 inside linebackers. We got Negron and Mann. The outside linebackers are Joyner and Blunt. The corners, Britt and Quillen. And the safety is Dickerson.
2nd down and about 7 for the Chargers. Again, Ju gets the call, and he picks up yardage very close to a 1st down. Looks like he'll be about a half a yard shy of the 1st down. And now we'll give you the lineup for the Chargers on offense. The center is Bertram. Fox and Willis are the guards. Knight and Dane are the tackles. Not to be confused with Night and Day. The tight end is Edmondson. The split end is Davis. Roble is the wide back. The quarterback is Scipione. Matthey is the fullback, and Ju is the tailback. 3rd down and less than a yard to go. Now we have an official's stoppage of play and a timeout being called by the Chargers as they want to discuss this very crucial 3rd down and 1.
Well, Tim, the other 2 plays, Jose Negron was in on the backfield of both of them. He didn't wrap up the runner on the first one. The second one, he got behind the runner. So if he can get his timing a little bit better, they're going to make some tackles in the backfield, and that's where Kecoughtan excels. As you and I know, watching last week's game against the Bethel Bruins, it was a defensive struggle because this Kecoughtan team is great. Grimm is a good kicker. He punted 9 times in that game, and that's what really helped Kecoughtan maintain field position.
You see some of the Kecoughtan faithful who are in attendance for the game. And you talked about Kecoughtan. They had 7 shutouts during the regular season and then tacked on 2 more in the playoffs. They shut out the last 3 opponents they played. In fact, if you go back to their last 5 games, Bob, they allowed just a total of 12 points in their last 5 contests.
Well, that says a lot about their weight room program on off-season.
3rd down and 1 to go for the Chargers, and the ball is tipped and incomplete.
Oh, what a great play that time by somebody in the interior line, Tim. I never got the number of who got the ball, but everybody knew that it was going up the middle. That was a great call, but you got to execute.
And we have an injured player on the field for the Chargers. I believe that is number 52.
Yes, this is who it is, Tim.
And that would be Jonathan Bertram. So he is shaken up and will be attended to here, as it'll bring up a 4th down and short. There you see the sticks at the top of your screen. The yard markers show that there's actually less than a yard to go for the 1st down, as the Kecoughtan Warriors defense, which has been their mainstay all year long, will dig in here, and we're glad to see the injured player is apparently going to be all right. He will have to come off for at least 1 play, or they would have to be penalized, if you will, a timeout.
Well, Tim, again, that 3rd down call on short, the pass was an excellent call because the receiver was wide open. There was nobody covering that receiver. He would have had the 1st down and picked up maybe 10, 15 yards beyond that. So now, you know, you're in 4-down territory if you're Chantilly.
And they are, with 4th down and a yard to go. They are going to go for it. Quarterback keeper dives over the middle and gets the 1st down easily, as Scipione kept it and just dove over the center, actually between the guard and the center on the right side, and enough for the 1st down. So the Chargers are able to keep the drive alive at the Kecoughtan 38-yard line, 1st down and 10.
Well, when you have faith in your offensive line as a coach, you know you can pick that up, so why not go for a big hitter on 3rd down?
you're in that situation too where it's not close enough for a field goal try, and you don't really give up a whole lot of field position if you had missed the pitch to Jew, and Jew across the 30 to about the 28-yard line.
Tony Britt, number 7, great job coming up from the quarterback or cornerback spot to help on that tackle that time, but he picked up good yardage.
Check that, not the 28, but in fact the 33, as the gain on the play brings it to the 33. They need to get to the 28 for the first down, so it'll be 2nd down and 5 to go for the Chantilly Chargers. Early in the first quarter, no score between Kecoughtan and Chantilly. Inside handoff, the dive play, if you will, that one went to Mark Matty, number 5, and he gets close to a first down. According to the mark that they are showing, and you'll see the referee there, Reuben Terry, is going to bring the sticks across as it's close enough for him to want to measure for the first down. It looks to be a little short. Of course, I'm really going on a limb here since it's not particularly easy to see, but I think he's going to be about a half a yard shy of the first down as they'll bring out the chains.
There was some lineman, Tim, it was either one of the guards that pulled that time and got sealed off Jose Negron, because that's where they ran that ball, is right in the spot that Jose normally is, and he would have gotten the tackle, but it was a great block that time by one of the linemen for the Chantilly Chargers.
And they did, in fact, fail to get the first down by at least 2 feet.
Well, you got eagle eye just anywhere.
Hey, I can see all the way from just miles away. So Chantilly with a 3rd down and less than a yard to go at the Kecoughtan 28-yard line. And they just power the ball up the middle, what appears to be easily a first down, as the ball carrier again this time was Mark Matthew. He's a big guy, senior, 6'2", 235-pounder. So when he goes into the middle of the line, he lets you know it. And a first down is registered for the Chargers.
Well, we have timeout, Tim. While we have timeout called by the Warriors this time, they're trying to get their defense squared away. Again, let me tell you, I'm sorry, this is not a timeout. They just stopped the clock to move the chains.
Yep.
So we'll pick up what I was going to say later on.
All right, at the 26-yard line, first down for Chantilly. And again,
great job.
Bowa Jew trying to carry to the right side, and making an excellent play was Keith Mann, number 3 for the Warriors, as he had that play read, and we've got a penalty flag on the play. It'll be a holding call against Chantilly.
That was a great defensive play by Mann, who plays the linebacker on that opposite side from where Jose Negron plays, and did a great job of going back. But you know, you take the penalty. Depends how many yards they lost, but I think you'd have to take the penalty from the spot of the foul.
And that's what they're going to do. They're going to mark off the penalty back to the 39-yard line. So that will make it still first down. They'll replay the down, but they'll have about 1st and 21 to go now at the 39-yard line. They need to get all the way down to the 16. Let me see if my math is working right here, Bob. Let's see, 36 carry your 2.
Divide by 3.
1st and 23.
It's very windy here today too, Tim, which is going to affect the passing.
Oh, not on that play. That one should have been caught.
Yeah, the wind had no effect on that, did it?
No, that was a pretty pass, and very fortunately for Kecoughtan, and Jovan Quillen was the defender on that side, but that pass was dropped, and that was an easy catch, or at least it's easy for me to say it would have been.
Yeah, you and I.
But it was on the.
Easy up here.
It was accurately thrown, but goes incomplete.
Well, the wind's between 20 and 30 mile an hour. It's gusting to 30, so if you throw a deep pass, you're really going to have an effect upon that ball.
2nd down and long. 2nd and 23 to go for the Chargers. Scipion back, got a man wide open, connects on the pass. That is number 80 on the receiving end. That is Brian Edmondson.
He's the tight end, Tim. Nobody picked the tight end up that time coming out of that formation.
Very uncharacteristic of the Kecoughtan Warriors to let a man be that wide open, but you're absolutely right, as they spotted something in the defensive formation, and he was open. That's close enough to measure, and once again, They're going to bring the chains out to see if, in fact, he did get the first down. Again, from our angle, it looks like it will be maybe a length of the ball short, but let's see as they stretch the chain out. No, not even that much, but it is going to be short of the first down.
Well, Tim, so far in this game, Kecoughtan has had...
Now they say first down.
Well, see, he just wanted to make a liar out of it.
Yeah, no, it looked like he was going to be a little short, and he said, nope, now I look at it.
Well, the point I was trying to make is Kecoughtan has got the kind of field position that Bethel had all game last week. They never could get across the 50-yard line. It didn't seem like the whole ball game, and Kecoughtan has been playing at their end of the field since the kickoff.
First down at the 16 for the Chargers. Scipio on the play action has a man wide open again. Same play that they missed on a moment ago. This time they connect as the pass is thrown very accurately this time to number 3, Bowaju, who is a 6'3", 190-pounder senior, and he gets the ball to the 13-yard line, but a gain of only 3 on the play.
Well,
it'll bring up second down and 7.
Excuse me, Tim, but Jovan Quillen came up real quick from that cornerback spot. Now, a lot of people wonder why you have your quarterback playing. He's a good athlete. You got to have him on the field. Did a great job of holding that on to a 3-yard gain.
Man in motion, and a handoff up the middle goes to number 5, Mark Matthey, and he gets inside the 10-yard line down to about the 8.
Well, he had a blocker in front of him. Looked like he was going to pick up a whole lot more yardage than that, but Keith Mann, number 3, did a great job from his linebacker of wrapping up his legs. And this is one thing you got to understand, that these young men, that you don't want to hit them high. You hit them in the legs, they can't go anywhere. You take their wheels out from under them. Nice job that time by Keith Mann.
The Chargers knocking on the door as they have the ball inside the Kecoughtan 10-yard line at about the 8. Again, man in motion. And again, they hand off down to the 1-yard line, and that again is Mark Matthey, as they have gone up the middle now consecutively and have a first and goal at the Kecoughtan 1-yard line.
Well, you had Tony Britt and Lawrence Dickerson, your safety, and another cornerback making a tackle. You don't want those people making a tackle that close to the goal line. But Kecoughtan Warriors have a lot of faith in their defense, and they have played well all year long when you get down close.
Quarterback keeper, and it looks like he got back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a little bit, but no indication yet. In fact, the official to the right side of your screen, the line judge, has marked the ball right about, I would guess, 6 inches from the goal line.
Yeah, it looks that close. But Tim, if you notice that time when Chantilly came up to the line of scrimmage, they went on a very quick count trying to catch Kecoughtan's defense not set yet. I thought the Kecoughtan defense did a great job of reacting to the movement of the offensive line.
Second down and goal. Second and inches. Scipio, and again the quarterback keeper, and again flags down this time. No indication of a touchdown, but flags everywhere.
Well, the second effort, it looked like he backed into the end zone, but the flags had already been thrown, and the
penalty against Kecoughtan.
Wow. So they must have blown the whistle.
They must have, because otherwise they probably would have counted the forward progress, which appeared to be enough for the touchdown, but it's half the distance, so instead of 6 inches from the goal, it's 3 inches from the goal.
And you say, well, it doesn't really hurt you that much. Well, it really does, because it gives them another down.
Right, second and goal, it continues to be as the repeat of the down. Scipione, and we've got movement all over the place, but the ball never got snapped.
I'm not sure what happened that time. Everybody moved but the quarterback and the center.
Yeah, the center forgot the snap.
Yeah, it forgot the count, because the offensive line moved as a unit.
Boy, what a big break for Kecoughtan.
Well, and there's a difference in the penalties. One was a 3-inch penalty,
right,
and the other was a 5-yard penalty.
Full 5. I've always thought that was really unfair, to the offensive team. If you can't get but 6 inches the other way, it should only penalize them 6 inches. But in fact, a huge situation. Still second down and goal, but now they're just shy of the 5-yard line. Man in motion again. That is Michael Roble. And again, the ball carrier, as they've been so often on this drive, that's Matthey, and he gets to about the 2-yard line, where it'll be third down and goal for the Chantilly Chargers. So they've had a number of opportunities, and it's still only third down.
And Tim, what really is good for Kecoughtan is this gives you more confidence. The more times you can keep them out of that end zone, and the number of plays, even though you only get 4 downs in there, you've got the extra downs because of the penalties. That's got to really pump your defense up.
And you gotta know that Chantilly knows about the prowess of this defense, because they haven't even thought about going wide because of the excellent pursuit that Kecoughtan has. Now, play action. Scipione toward the end zone. It's picked off in the end zone. Lawrence Dickerson with the INT. What a great play for the Kecoughtan Warriors, as it had been 2nd and goal at the 3-inch line. And Lawrence Dickerson picks off the interception, and that'll give the Kecoughtan Warriors the ball at their 20-yard line.
Well, there was a defensive lineman, Tim, that got in the backfield and got his hands up and probably obstructed the view of the quarterback that time. Never got a real good look, but Dickerson did a good job of reading the eyes of the quarterback and going to the ball. Great job of breaking on the ball and getting that interception. Boy, and that's got to pump up your offense. When you have a defense that does a job like that, boy, you just can't wait. Offensively, it'll fire them up. We'll see what happens.
All right, the Warriors, who have played this entire first quarter in their side of midfield, now have the ball at the 20 after dodging a huge bullet. Quillen on the keeper, out across the 25, pickup of about 5.5 yards. Let's call it 5 and make it 2nd down and 5 for the Warriors. And they just want to get some kind of offensive movement. And again, that looked like a little bit of a mix-up on that play.
It almost does, except if you understand that Quillen is really a running back that's been made a quarterback, that he can fake to that first man through, use him as a blocker, and he is a good runner. And why not take advantage of the skills that this young man has?
You know, a lot has been made about, I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Go ahead.
Kecoughtan's defense, rather, has been so good this year, but Chantilly's got a good defense also, as they have allowed no more than 8 points in 8 of their 10 regular season games. So, or 7 of their regular season games, excuse me, but they can do their own fair share of stopping the other team. Now Kecoughtan calls a timeout.
Yeah, Tim, while they do have this timeout, let me mention again that we will pick a player of the game only from Kecoughtan today. They will receive a plaque and a shirt, that particular player. The plaque comes from Buckwald Engraving, located at Kecoughtan Road. For all your engraving needs, contact Jim at 723-6067, Dave Buckwald, the owner. The shirt comes from the Islander Hardware and Sporting Goods, located in Pecoughtan. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment and uniforms, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467, John Roberts owner.
All right, we're set to go. And that pass almost picked off, as on a fly pattern, breaking across the middle. The intended pass was almost picked off by number 9, Chad Davis.
Tim, that was not a good-looking pass. I don't know if it got tapped at the line of scrimmage, but that's a slant pattern. But if you can get in front and you can hit that man, he will be past that defender before he knows what's happened. But I think the ball got tipped at the line of scrimmage, because it looked like one of Kilmer's old passes, if you remember the way he used to pass with the Redskins.
3rd and 5. Chad Davis I'm sure he wishes he had another shot at that one, because if he had caught it, he would have had nobody between him and the goal line. Quillen, being rushed, gets away from a would-be tackler, has some time now, and decides to run with the football across the 25 to the 30 and out of bounds, so he gets the 1st down at the 34-yard line.
Well, that was all individual effort for the most part. He did pick up a couple of good blocks, but man, what an exciting run that was to get there, that 1st down for the Warriors.
He was trapped way back there and did a great job, as he has so often this year, of eluding a would-be tackler, and then he had some blockers, but like you said, Bob, he really did most of that on his own. If it hadn't been for his athleticism, he would have been in serious trouble. Now it looks to be, though, however, a penalty flag. We did not, or at least I didn't pick it up at first, but they are discussing this with the captain. That's Trey Cage of Chantilly, talking it over with Reuben Terry, the referee.
The only thing I can figure out, must have been an illegal block or use of hands or something, but
all right, so after the penalty, the Warriors now from their 13-yard line. And looks like false motion in the backfield for the Warriors, as Carlton Morant anticipating the snap of the ball. And he can move, but he apparently did something that
Well, he
was
moved, stopped, and then took off, Tim, and I think that was a call. But what a terrible penalty to happen after a great individual effort by Jovan Quillen. And now you're backed up inside your 10 after that penalty, and it just seems like Kecoughtan is going the wrong direction. We needed to go on to the left, not backwards.
Still in the first quarter, no score between Chantilly and the Kecoughtan Warriors. Late in the first quarter, Kecoughtan from their 7-yard line. Quillen with the quick hitter. This is Carlton Morant, and he is out across the 15 to about the 17-yard line. But again, the Warriors have a considerable distance to go for the first down.
Well, that was just a quick hitter up there with a little tramp block that sprung Carlton, Tim. But the defense probably isn't playing quite as tight, or Kecoughtan did a good job of getting their getting the play called against the defense. I see we have the end of the first quarter.
All right, so we have played the first 12 minutes from W.T. Woodson High School, and our score after the first quarter is Kecoughtan 0 and Chantilly no score.
As we watch the players go to change end of the field, now we'll have a difference in the direction of the wind for these teams. But Kecoughtan has got to get some field position. You can't be passing the ball, Tim, when you're deep in your own territory like that. And I say that as we have watched other teams, and Hampton High School comes to mind, they'll pass in the end zone. But when you get in this type of play where you're playing teams with this caliber, you've got to be a little more patient and hope that your offense defense does what they're supposed to be doing.
You saw the score on the board. It's 4th down and 14. The original line of scrimmage for this series was the 20 after the interception in the end zone and the touchback. The interception by Lawrence Dickerson, a huge play for Kecoughtan in the first quarter to avoid a almost certain score, as Mike Grimm will punt. And it takes a great Kecoughtan roll, no effort by the Chantilly Chargers rather, to return it, as the ball rolls dead at the Chantilly 44-yard line. So an excellent job of Mike Grimm getting the Warriors out of trouble.
Well, it really did, Tim, and very surprising as soggy as that field is, it took a real good bounce, because normally when you got a wet field, the ball's going to hit and just kind of stay. It's not going to roll, but he must have got a good 10, 15 yards off of the roll after the ball hit the ground.
44-yard line, 1st down and 10 for Chantilly. Mark Scipione, the quarterback. In motion is Michael Robel. And a seemingly mix-up in the backfield there, as maybe a half a yard on the play. The ball carrier was Mark Matthey.
I'll tell you why there was a mix-up in the backfield. If you saw number 1, Jose Negron was back, almost had the quarterback before he made the handoff. He almost got the handoff.
So a little gain on the play. Let's call it 2nd down and 10 to go for the Chantilly Chargers. They are the Northern Division champions. 2nd down and 10 to go for the Chargers. Straight back to pass. Got a man wide open. Connects at the 46 of Kecoughtan. He is brought down at about the 44 or 43 of the Warriors, and that'll be enough for a Charger 1st down.
But he had a lot of cushion that time after he broke off the line of scrimmage. He had more cushion than I'm sure the Warriors would have liked to have allowed him to have, because when he caught the ball, there was not a man within 4 yards of him.
Tim Cole and Bob Hintz bringing you this semifinal action, Division 6, Group AAA, the Chantilly Chargers and the Kecoughtan Warriors from W.T. Woodson High School. Videotaped on the 30th of November, 1996. This is Scipione, and he, the quarterback, gets good yardage all the way down to the Kecoughtan 35-yard line. Very close to a 1st down. They need to get to the 34, and they mark it, well, apparently between the 35 and the 34. They're going to bring the chains across, but from our angle, it looks to be maybe a foot short of the 1st down.
Well, you've been eagle-eyed most of the time all day. A.J. Joyner was in on the tackle that time, but that was a good job by the quarterback to spot nobody open and just take it on a run. The pocket collapsed and away he went.
On 4th down, the Chargers go for it, as it had been 4th and inches, but they get the first down now as they mark the ball at the 34-yard line. So the Chargers keep this drive alive. Chargers only lost one game during the regular season. That was a 21-18 loss to West Potomac.
Was that in the early part of the season, Tim?
As a matter of fact, it was the 4th game of the season for them. So just that one defeat by the Chargers. 34-yard line, first down. Scipion gives. This is Bowaju, and he gets to the 31-yard line, a gain of about 3 on the play.
Well, great job that time by number 22, Sean McGinnis, to wrap up his legs. He didn't get anything after he got hit.
Again, this time the right side, inside the Kecoughtan 30 to about the 28-yard line. So the Chargers moving the ball on Kecoughtan. Little chunks, but chunks nonetheless as they get down to the 28-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and about 3, a long 3.
About the 28-yard line.
As the Chargers come to the line. No score here in the first half. We're in the second quarter. Single elimination. The winner of this game advances to the state championship for Division 6. And the defense is there to stop the play as on the inside handoff. Over there to make the stop, number 3, that is Keith Mann. That's the second big play of the ball game that we've called on his number. And along with, looked like Jose Negron was there, along with number 12, A.J. Joyner, and he's gotten another call.
Well, Tim, one thing that a lot of people need to understand is Marlon Hicks, who was a all-district performer last year, got hurt in an accident and has missed the last 3 games, and they have sorely missed him. That would be number 51. We've seen him play defense for the Warriors for 2 years. It's been a fantastic job.
4th down and the sack as the Warriors on a 4th and 6 get to the quarterback, and they'll take over on downs.
Again, Keith Mann in on a tackle along with, was that 76 Thacker?
I believe so.
What a great job. They knew what was going to happen, and they just went after the quarterback, just teed off, didn't worry about the run.
So Kurt Newsom's defense does it again as this team allowed just 53 points in 12 games. That is phenomenal.
Tim, look at the field position. First time they've had the good field position to start a drive today.
At their 35-yard line, Quillen on the play action, looking downfield, now tosses the ball, and it's tipped incomplete. The intended receiver was Carlton Morant, number 21, but a little too tall for him and goes harmlessly to the ground, and it will be 2nd down and 10 from the 35.
Tough way to throw the ball is running to your left if you're a right-hand quarterback, because you really have to get your shoulders square before you throw the ball. A little high, but was on the money. Maybe catchable, but in these conditions, Tim, you know, you're going to have things. Passes drop, as we have seen from Chantilly. Had a guy hit one, it hit him right in the hands.
2nd and 10 at the Kecoughtan 35. Straight up the middle as Quillen crosses the 40 to about the 41-yard line. So just a power surge from the middle of the Kecoughtan offensive line, and that's a good offensive line. They have good players on both sides of the ball.
Right.
Kecoughtan.
Well, what happened that time was he sent Quash, number 14, in motion away from the line. That moved the linebackers over, which allowed Quillen to use that quarterback. You call it quarterback sneak, but it's really a quarterback run with what they did.
On the option, the pitch. Derek Quash gets the call, and he will be short of the first down. He needed to get to the 45. He got to the 44, and that'll bring up 4th down and a yard. What do you do in this situation?
Oh, I tell you, I don't know, but Jason Smith, number 33, had a blocker on him, shed the blocker, and made the tackle that time. Had he not shed that blocker, they would have picked up the first down. So your Kecoughtan, Tim, you got to punt. You can't give them the ball back. If you don't get it, pick this yardage up when they look like they're going to go for it. Maybe they're going to try to draw them offside.
Well, I saw Mike Grimm come into the game, number 5.
But he'll
come
in
as
a wide receiver.
Here's the hard count, and it did not work as Chantilly stayed at home. An excellent coaching job by Chantilly as they anticipated exactly what Kecoughtan was thinking about doing. And now the Warriors, after the timeout, will bring on the punting team.
Well, and you said Grimm came in, but Grimm also plays wide receiver. Him and Marshall Haggard will bring the play in. They both play wide receiver. Grimm's extra duties, of course, are the punting.
Some of the Kecoughtan faithful bundled up in this cold, nasty day in northern Virginia as the rain and the wind and the cold temperatures in the low 40s, and they are bundled up for this. This game, as you can see on your screen, videotaped on the 30th of November, 1996.
Well, I'm kind of glad it's raining that way, and that Braxton won't feel so bad because you know how he loves to be out and play in the rain.
Well, I've been told he's a mudder. He just loves to be out there in the wet and rain. Wouldn't have it any other way. So Mike Grimm will be back in deep punt formation for the Warriors. High snap, and we've got a stoppage of play as flags are down. Now, if this is a penalty against Chantilly, this could result in a first down for the Warriors.
It surely could, because anybody that either offensive movement or the defensive man get in the neutral zone, and that looks like what happened.
It is. So the drive will be kept alive by the encroachment call against Chantilly.
Well, you tried to get it on the play before, and you get it from
Get it inadvertently.
Yeah,
So,
what a good job.
all right, so the Warriors now have the ball first down at their 49-yard line after seemingly having to punt the ball, but an encroachment call against Chantilly gives them new life on the offense. Jovan Quillen will bring them to the line. We've got double wide receivers to the left, single wide receiver at the bottom of your screen, and then the I formation. The handoff to the first man through, that is Carlton Morant, and he gets about 5 down to the Chantilly 46-yard line.
Well, what Kecoughtan did that time, Tim, was try to spread out that defense with all those wide receivers and then run a trap in the middle and picked up good yardage, because that's exactly what they wanted to do. Make that defense weaker in the middle by spreading it out.
Second down and 5 to go for the Warriors. Still no score here in the first half. Kecoughtan and Chantilly. Jovan Quillen out of the I formation. The pitch goes to Derek Quash, and he tries to turn the left end, does so, and gets very close to the first down marker. Let's see exactly where they mark the football.
Well, it looks like they're marking it right at in fact, it looks like he picked up the first down if they've got the spot where I can see it.
Yep, that's it. They got to the 40, and the 41 was the first down. So by a yard, Derek Quash with an excellent second effort as he turned the left end and was able to pick up the first down.
But Tim, he was hit twice and was not brought down. There's a good example of keeping your feet and keeping your legs moving, because you'll pick up that extra yardage, and in that case gave him the first down.
Quillen sets double wide receivers to the near side on first down at the Chantilly 40. On the belly play, this is Carlton Morant, and he is down to the 30-yard line, and he picks up better than 10 yards. That'll be another first down for the Warriors.
Well, looks like the Warriors are going with Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside. Inside is Carlton Morant. Going to the outside, we're going to go with Porsche, as we have an injured
there's a Warrior down. It looks to be number 76, I believe that is, Bob.
That's probably either Thacker or, no, that is Kevin Thacker.
Kevin Thacker shaken up on the play. All right, Thacker has to come out of the ball game for at least one play. Hopefully he'll be able to return, as the play resulted in a first down for the Warriors just inside the Chantilly 30-yard line. Again, double wide receivers to the near side. The pitch goes to Quash. This worked for a first down a little while ago, and he turns the corner and goes out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
What a great job that time, using the athletic ability of these two young men in the backfield. Quash being able to get outside with his speed, and Morant with his power up the middle has really seemed to be working for the Warriors, and they're catching Chantilly's defense in the wrong defense, which is good coaching and good play calling by the Warrior staff.
They marked him out of bounds at about the 16.5. Let's call it the 16-yard line. It'll be first down for the Warriors. Their first opportunity at a score in the ball game. The handoff up the middle for Carlton Morant, and he is down close to the 10-yard line.
Well, this is the Kecoughtan team that we have seen in the past and was able to move the ball, and that defensive stand that they had early in that first quarter has really helped the offense, because a lot of these young men play both sides of the ball.
The gain is to the 10, gain of 6 yards on the play, 2nd down and 4 to go for Kecoughtan. Driving for, hopes to be a go-ahead score as Quash gets to maybe the 5. Tough yardage as he ran 30 yards and picked up a half a yard.
But Tim, you see what he did when he threw his stiff arm number 33, Jason Smith, coming up to make that tackle and just stiff arm him and never made that tackle. Great job, and that shows you the strength of the Kecoughtan people. Picked up that first down.
Close enough to measure, and they got it by the nose of the football. So an excellent effort again. Derek Quash, who has to be one of our candidates for a player of the game honors, has done an excellent job with 2nd and 3rd efforts here on this drive. Warriors at the 6-yard line of Chantilly with no score here in the first half. Second quarter, halfway through the second quarter already. This is Chuck Forte, and he will score from 6 yards out.
The young man just was not going to be denied, Tim. It just looked like a bull going through the tacklers that time. Great job by the Kecoughtan Warrior coaching staff, and that front offensive line just did the job that they're supposed to do, opening up that job. And of course, I'm talking about Melton, Rogers, Hauser, Thacker, and Lemon, the front 5, and of course Stafford Brown, the tight end. They do a great job blocking and opening up holes.
The 9th touchdown of the season for the little used Chuck Forte. On to try the extra point. This is Dickerson. Looked like they were going to kick for it. Now Dickerson will throw, and it is good for 2.
Oh, Tim, about 2 or 3 people had a chance for that. What happened was a bad snap from center. It was a bounce to Dickerson, and he got the ball heads up looking for somebody in the end zone, and they looked like all purple, but number 21 ended up with it.
Now here's a little oddity of stats for you as the Warriors with the 2-point conversion make it 8-0. That is just the first 2-point, let's check that, the second 2-point conversion of the season for the Kecoughtan Warriors. Many teams will have more than that as a rule, but that's just the second one all season, and Dickerson scored the other one.
Well, Tim, the reason that they haven't many 2-point conversions is Mike Green, great kicker
David Green.
He is. Or, I'm sorry, David Green.
Yeah, 42 extra points on the season for Green and 7 field goals. So his foot has been very powerful for the Warriors, but that time with the bad snap, as you said, they were forced to go for the 2-point conversion, and it paid off. On the ensuing kickoff, and talk about paying off, number 23, Lloyd Davis, down on the stop as the ball was returned by Charles Douglas, and Douglas never had a chance.
Great jobs on the special teams that time, because you think you're going to get a run back because the ball was a low kick. It bounced one time, you got the ball, you start to run, and all of a sudden you look up and you're looking right at Lloyd Davis. I mean, nobody touched him.
Got him at the 16-yard line, so that's a spectacular play on special teams. Now they're going to move the ball up a little bit as they adjust the spot, and they move it out closer to the 14-yard line. And now we have a stoppage in play. Officials need to make sure they've got all the down markers all set. It is, in fact, the 14. I had said the 16 a moment ago, but correct myself. And we're set to go. 8-0 in favor of Kecoughtan here in the first half. Chantilly, nothing working that time, is in on the stop beautifully. Number 68, Eric Blackwell, as he tripped up the runner, and a loss on the play.
And A.J. Joyner was in there with him, Tim, who was playing a linebacker. And if you remember, the young man that intercepted the pass in the end zone during the first quarter.
Mr. Dickerson.
No, Mr. Joyner. Wasn't it Joyner?
No, Dickerson.
Oh, well then there.
Number 10.
I'm mistaken.
All right.
You mean I made a mistake?
Second down and a few. On the play action. Scipion wants to throw, has a man open, almost picked off.
Oh, now there's Dickerson.
And Dickerson almost got that one. as the incomplete pass brings up a 3rd down and long. Now the ball just shy of the 10-yard line. The original line of scrimmage was the 16, so it's 3rd and about 16 to go. Time running out here in the first half as the Warriors lead 8-0. Wide out at the left-hand side of your screen. Scipion wants to pass, has a man open on the near side and lofts it up, and what a nice grab. Was he inbounds? Yes, they say he made the grab at the 40-yard line.
Well, he just came down with it just inside of it because that was just kind of a rainbow type of a toss. You throw it up and let the receiver run underneath it, and I'm sure they practice that play a lot in practice. That's a timing thing. Great job that time.
So the senior quarterback, and he's a big one too, 6'5". You talk about your perfect size for college quarterbacking, 6'5", 200-pounder.
Well, you need somebody that big to look over those big offensive linemen that you run into in college.
First down at their 40-yard line. Again, on the play action, Scipion rolling to his right, looking downfield, has a man open, completes the pass at the 41-yard line of Kecoughtan. That is Boa Ju on the receiving end of the pass. So Scipion has gotten the Chantilly Chargers down the field rather quickly here.
Well, I'm impressed with his passing, Tim. He passed one time to the left side, and that time a little roll to get away from some of that pressure that the Warrior defensive line have been putting on him, and on the move hit the man right in stride.
First down just shy of the Kecoughtan 40. Now Scipion wants us to set up the screen pass, does beautifully. One man to get around. Negron slipped, and they get yardage, but not nearly as many yards as they might have. That was very well set up as Scipion allowed the rush to get all the way into the backfield, and then he threw it out there for the big gainer. Second down after the 9-yard gain, 2nd and 1 to go for Chantilly.
Well, Negron slipped down, then got up and was in on the tackle. Good job by Jose.
Right up the middle.
Inside trap, Tim.
Mark Matthew. And he has the first down at the Kecoughtan 25-yard line.
Well, they trapped Eric Blackwell, number 68, for the Warriors that time. They had 2 men on him. They trapped him, and that's right where they ran the ball.
So the Chargers, time running out here in the first half, trailing 8-0 with a first down at the Kecoughtan 25. And we've got penalty flags on the play.
Well, I couldn't tell if that was a movement by the offense or if the defense jumped off. We'll see.
Looks like they're talking to the Warriors. It's going to be an offside call against the offense. So
well,
someone must have lined up in the neutral zone.
Yeah, normally that you would think illegal procedure, but somebody evidently lined up in the neutral zone.
So a 5-yard assessment, 1st and 15. Scipion wants to go long. And in the batted away. What a nice defensive effort by Quillen.
Jovan just got his hand in. It looked like the wind held that ball up a little bit, Tim. It looked like it was going to go further than that. Good shot of what the wind will do to that ball when it gets in the air.
And that's an excellent point, because I really think that ball would have been thrown long, and it just hung up there. And fortunately for Quillen, he was able to get a hand on it and knock it away from the would-be receiver. So it's 2nd down and 15 at the 30. Mark Scipion, and he feels the heat, and he is sacked all the way back to the 43-yard line.
Number 42, Purvis Tillery. Now, we've talked about that young man, just a freshman, has come in and has really done a great job for this Kecoughtan Warrior team. I coached his dad as a 8th and 9th grader when I was over at Sims Junior High School. His dad was a good football and basketball player.
So the loss all the way back outside of field goal range to the 43-yard line. They were at the Kecoughtan 25 just a moment ago.
Well, they're going the wrong way this time.
3rd down and long to go for the Chargers. Quarterback, short drop, throws, has a man open, and it's, well, is he inbounds or out of bounds when he caught it? They say no, he was out of bounds.
Had to be. That was very close from our angle. I couldn't tell if he came down with 1 foot, because in high school, all you have to do is have 1 foot in bounds when you catch the ball, not like the pros where you have to have both feet in bounds.
You taught me that a long time ago. Remember several years ago I was talking about that and you said, no, they only need one. And I thought it was the other way around. But you're absolutely right. Fourth down.
You mean
long.
I taught you something too?
That was, hey, there's a first for everybody. All right, so now the Chargers, with time running out here in the first half, fourth down and long, and they appear to be in a deep punt formation. That's about as far back as I've seen a punter stand in quite some time. Gets
about
the
a
snap.
15-yarder.
Yep. Gets the snap, kicks it, and Carlton Morant very wisely, well, not so wisely now. I thought it was going to go into the end zone, but
Well, I
he let
did
it
too.
go. He did too.
It started to, then decided to take a right turn.
Well, you talked about the wind. It's very likely the wind and the soggy field caused that ball to stand up at the 1 yard line.
Well, that's what I think has more to do with it than anything else, is I'm sure Morant thought it was going to bounce in the end zone.
And the Warriors on offense now. Quillen takes the snap as a timeout is called, as the Chargers will stop the clock to preserve as much time as they can here in the first half. They've got the Warriors back at their 2 yard line. The Warriors leading. There you see the time remaining, 39 seconds to go in the first half. Kecoughtan, the guest, with 8. And Chantilly, the home team, no score. Second down and 9.
Well, you don't want to make a mistake this close to the end of the first half. Hopefully you can run out the clock. You're not going to do anything silly, but they're just going to basically just let Jovan keep the ball and try to muscle it ahead a little bit.
Now Chantilly will call another timeout to keep as much time as they can, hoping to get the Warriors either to fumble or to hold them on downs. So now the Warriors.
And I believe that may be their last timeout.
Quillen, third down, gets out to the 9, short of a first down. Needed to get to about the 11.5 to get a first down. But if you're correct and that was their last timeout, that should do it for the first half, as the Warriors will just be more than content to let the clock run out.
Well, see, one thing you got to be concerned of is in punt formation, the last time that the Warriors were in punt formation and they've got didn't have to kick the ball, but there was a high snap.
All right, we're at halftime. As time has run out, the Warriors lead at halftime by the score of 8-0 over Chantilly. We'll return with the third quarter of action after this brief timeout. Our score as we get set to start the third quarter: the Kecoughtan Warriors 8 and the Chantilly Chargers no score. The only score in the first half, the 6-yard run by Chuck Forte and the 2-point conversion on a bad snap, and Dickerson threw in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And we get set to start the final 24 minutes of action. Tim Cole and Bob Hintz coming to you from W.T. Woodson High School in Fairfax, Virginia. Terrible weather as we start the third quarter. Ball taken at the 10-yard line. Good return down the far sideline. That is Charles Douglas, who gets the ball all the way out to the 30-yard line.
Well, he did a good job, Tim, outrunning some coverage that time.
And that's where the Chargers will start, from their 30-yard line, trailing by 8-0. Boazou in motion. The handoff up the middle goes to number 5, Mark Matthey.
Keith Mann again on the tackle that time. He got through the line of scrimmage, but the linebacker did the job he was supposed to.
Gain of 5 on the play, second down and 5 to go. Again, Matthey gets the call, and he breaks into the open.
Tim,
Chased by Jovan Quillen, and Quillen will catch him, but not until he gets to the 3-yard line.
Tim, it looked like he was stopped there at the line of scrimmage that time, but there was no whistle. Good job that time by the running back just to keep going. You tell your boys to don't stop running until they hear that whistle.
First and goal at the Kecoughtan 2-yard line. This is Matthey as he lunges forward and will be short of the end zone. You may recall in the first half, the Warriors had the ball on their 6-inch line as the Chantilly Chargers were turned away with a first and goal and ultimately picked off in the end zone by Dickerson. And the ball went over to the Warriors, and they ultimately scored the only points in the first half. Second down and goal for the Chargers. Scipione, left side.
Oh, great
gives to
defensive stop.
And they are there. You pick out the number you want to go with. There's one. There is number 78.
78, that's Eddie Lemon.
Eddie Lemon he was apparently the man who had the arms wrapped around the running back.
So he got some help, didn't he?
He sure did. And not only did they not get into the end zone, they lost a half a yard on the play. So it's 3rd down and goal.
Well, we have seen Kecoughtan really get tough down here close to their goal line.
On the pitch. And in for the score.
That's number 6.
Number 6, that's Michael Roble. And the Warrior defense has just played outstanding football this afternoon. Finally gives in, and the touchdown from 6 yards out by Roble.
Well, Tim, that was a great job that time by the Chantilly Chargers. Kecoughtan had that plugged up in the middle. There was no way they were going to take that ball in the center of that line and score. They had to go outside, did a great job of faking the inside dive, and then pitched the ball to Roble going around the right end.
The Chargers going for 2. I said 6 yards out. That was a 2-yard touchdown run. Scipione wants to go for 2, and he connects to Roble, who just scored the touchdown a moment ago. And with that 2-point conversion, makes the score 8-8.
What a big play, that play before that big long run by the Chargers that looked like it was stopped at the line of scrimmage, then all of a sudden, boom, away he came, and then Jovan Quillen caught him down about the 2-yard line.
All right, so Chantilly now here in the 3rd quarter ties the ball game 8-all, and they will kick off to the Warriors as the weather continues to be deteriorating as we speak. You can see some of the moisture on your screen on the lens of the camera. The return, a fine-looking return across the 40, out close to midfield as the Warriors get a great return by Derek Quash.
He did a great job. That's the speed. That young man loves to get outside anyway, but you give him a little lane to go and some blocking and a little picket fence, and he'll pick up some yardage for you.
1st down, just shy of midfield. This is number 21, Carlton Morant, and he picks up about 5 as he gets to the 46-yard line. Actually, they mark it inside the 45.
Almost want to call him Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside. They are doing, both of those young men, Morant and Quash, are doing a great job running the ball today.
Morant on the season, 551 yards on 100 carries. Let's see, divide by 2, that's 5.5 yards per carry. That's not too bad.
Well, he carried the ball again that time. Didn't get as much yardage as he did the time before, but if you can average 5 yards a carry, if you're telling me right, Tim, boy, you give the ball to him as many times as you can and get the defense thinking inside and pop young Mr. Derek Quash outside with that speed he's got and score some points.
3rd down and 3 at the 43. And a strange-looking play, but it appears to be a 1st down, as it looked like he was going to pitch or hand the ball off, but Quillen, in fact, keeps the play, kind of like the option play.
Well, it really was, but it looked like Quillen overran the hole that the quarterback was going to fake into and just knocked Jovan Quillen forward to get the 1st down. So it ended up a pretty good deal after all. Tim, we will pick a player of the game from the Kecoughtan Warriors, and that player will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from Buckwald Engraving in Kecoughtan Road, and the shirt comes from Islander Hardware and Sporting Goods in Pocosa.
And now the play all the way down inside the 35-yard line to about the 33.
And that was Quash again trying to get outside, run out of bounds by number 33 that plays that cornerback over there, Jason Smith, 170, 5'9" senior.
Again, the Warriors keep it on the ground as they get down close to the 30-yard line, right about the 31. And that'll be 4th down and about a long yard to go.
Well, Tim, Kecoughtan would rather keep the ball on the ground rather than throw it because they want to eat up the clock as much as they can, keep the ball out of the other team's offense. They've done that all year long. That's why they have so many shutouts.
The Warriors with 4th and 1 going for it. They need to get to the 29-yard line to keep the ball. Looks like he was tripped up in the backfield. Quillen did not get back to the 30-yard line, and the ball will go over on downs.
Well, I couldn't see who got in there, but something happened. Like you said, I don't know if there was a mix-up or what happened, but never got a good start after he got the ball.
1st and 10 from the Chantilly 30-yard line. Left side, not much happening there, as the ball carrier is Benoit Jou. I'll check that, Matthew rather, number 5, not 3, but in fact number 5, Mark Matthew. And he is out to the 32-yard line. 2nd down and about, let's call it a long 7 to go. Scipion wants to pass, throws, and the ball is caught at the 37-yard line. Gain of about 3 on the play. And this time the play to the near side, as again the weather conditions are deteriorating rapidly. You can see the picture is not nearly as clear as it was earlier, as we've got fog and mist and rain, winds of 20 to 30 miles an hour. It's just not particular. It's not raining hard, but it certainly is not conducive to a good passing attack.
Kind of nasty, isn't it?
Kind of nasty.
And
yeah.
that may be one of the reasons why Kecoughtan chose to go for it on 4th down rather than have a Green attempt the field goal, is because of these conditions out here today.
So it's 4th down now for the Chargers.
Well, he does get way back, doesn't he, from the line of scrimmage, their punter.
That is Jonah Gobic. And Gobic kicks a relatively short kick, but it takes a nice roll for the Chargers.
Look at that thing roll.
So it went about 10 or 15 yards after it hit the ground. So the Warriors now will start from their 27-yard line. Back to pass. Quillen throws, and contact made. And the Kecoughtan coach is yelling for
How
an
can that not be
call.
Interference, Tim? The man fell down, and the Kecoughtan receiver
fell down over him.
Yeah, that was number 24, Howard Dunlap. Tim, he would have caught that ball had he not tripped over the receiver. And if you think you're going to get beat, they're telling me you can fall down and trip the guy.
Heck of a play. 2nd and 10.
Oh, no, that's wrong.
Incomplete pass with no penalty. The pitch. Quash to the near side, gets almost to the 30-yard line. In on the stop, number 33, Jason Smith.
Called his number a lot today.
Well, you won't get a Player of the Game award, though, because it's only going to go to a Kecoughtan award.
That's right. Good point.
29-yard line, 3rd down and long for the Warriors. 3rd down and right about 8 yards to go. Quillen wants to throw, now feels the pressure and has to eat the football back at the 27. So Mike Grimm will be in deep punt formation, standing at about his 15. The ball is blocked. The punt is blocked and recovered by Chantilly at the 21-yard line. That was number 6, Mike Roble, coming in to make the block on the punt.
Tim, he did a great job that time. The man lined up on the line of scrimmage, blocked the Kecoughtan man outside, and he shot in the gap from the right side of the defensive line and did a great job of rushing the punter. This is something that they've worked on quite a bit.
So a huge break for Chantilly as the score 8-8. But Chantilly now with the ball in Kecoughtan territory. Scipion feels some pressure, throws back to the near side. This is Jou. Benoit Jou is out of bounds inside the 5-yard line at the 1.
What a nice call, Tim. That was a screen pass back to actually the quarterback rolls to the right, stops, and throws a throwback type of screen pass. Great call that time.
1st and goal for the Chantilly Chargers at the Kecoughtan 2-yard line. Drive by Matthew, he scores.
Well, Tim, that was very close. They have tried to center the line many times down in there, and that's the first time they've gotten across the line of scrimmage.
Well, you know, that looked like he did not get in. The Warriors held him right at the goal line, but the official, to their credit, he was right on the line and watched the play very closely.
The ball is the only thing that's got to break the plane. The man doesn't have to get inside, just the ball.
The extra point try, the kick is up, and it is good. So the extra point kick is made good by Scaldaferri. And with that, the score now becomes 15-8 in favor of the Chargers of Chantilly.
Well, they have scored 15 straight points to come out during this third quarter, Tim. But the big play was that block punt. They've had two big plays: the block punt and the big run for their first touchdown, where the young man ran all the way down to the 2-yard line.
A relatively short kick taken at the 25-yard line. Trying to get some running room, but not being able to turn the corner. That was Jason Blunt, as he brought it out to the 35, where the Warriors will have it 1st and 10, but for the first time in this ball game, they find themselves behind.
Well, Tim, he was trying to pick up some blockers that time, but actually lost yardage trying to get around the outside. Good job by the Chantilly Chargers to cover the kickoff.
First down from the 35 of Kecoughtan. Up the middle they go for a couple of tough yards into the middle of that defensive line of Chantilly. As a gain on the play out to about the 27. And let's call it a gain of 2. Second down along 8. Now we have an official stoppage of play. But we're set to go again as it's second down and about 7. Quillen back to pass, has plenty of time. Now throws, got a man wide open at the 45-yard line, and he can't hold on to it. Howard Dunlap had it in his hands, and he was already headed for the end zone, and that's where the problem was.
That probably is right, Tim. He ran before he got the ball. And remember, we'll pick a player of the game from the Warriors, and they will receive a plaque and a shirt from Buckwalter's Engraving and the Islander Hardware and Sporting Goods.
Now, to his benefit, the weather conditions are just horrible. That ball is slippery, it's cold, their hands are wet. I mean, there's just no way that they're going to make a good play all the time. This is a little dipsy-doodle back to Quillen. That was Carlton Morant, and the Chantilly defense would have nothing to do with it as they read that play, and in fact, they cause a 1-yard loss on the play. So the Warriors will be looking at 4th and long.
Well, Tim, that's the first time we've seen that play today, this year, as a matter of fact, and it's not a bad call. You try to get something to happen, but boy, you have to take your hats off to the Chantilly Chargers. They did the job on defense. They weren't to be fooled.
So Mike Grimm, last time he was in deep punt formation, they blocked his kick. This time, no pressure to speak of, and Grimm gets a good-looking kick away, taken on a fair catch at the 47-yard line of Chantilly. So the Chargers will start from their 47, 1st and 10, into the middle of that tough defensive line of the Kecoughtan Warriors. Not much happening there.
I'll tell you one thing, we have seen Kecoughtan, they play great defense. What they have to do now is play defense and get the ball, try to strip the ball, Tim. The weather conditions are tough enough to try to hold on to the ball anyway, so not only can you have to play good defense, but you try to cause a turnover.
Scipion wants to pass, and now he will not get a chance as he is wrapped up and sacked back at the 42-yard line. And who was that coming in, Bob?
Well, it looked like number 52, or was that 62? 62,
62?
Tim. Yes, that's David Budden, just a junior.
And David Budden did a nice job of sacking the quarterback.
Threw his hands up and really blocked his vision so he couldn't pass.
From their 41-yard line. Downfield contact, and the pass is complete. And racing for the end zone, and then a late hit by Negron. If the officials saw that, they'll likely throw a penalty for 15 yards. But the penalty on the play, what a huge break for Kecoughtan. A penalty against Chantilly.
Well, Tim, we have seen a no call that we thought should have been a pass interference during the first half. And this was, again, if this is offensive pass interference, you lose the down. As you remember what happens on an offensive pass interference, you get the yardage against you and the down.
And that's what has happened, as they've marched them all the way back to the 28-yard line. So they'll be in deep punt formation, 4th and long. Gobic with a beautiful kick. Of course, he's got the wind behind him, but it's taken on a fair catch at the 32-yard line. That is Carlton Morant with the fair catch.
That was a smart job that time, catching the ball before it could hit the ground.
From their 33, the pitch to the near side, Derek Quash. And Quash is driven out of bounds as he gets to about the 37-yard line.
I'm impressed with his stiff arm. He has knocked down Smith a couple times, number 33, coming in to make the tackle.
Second down after the 3-yard gain, second and about 7. Quillen, plenty of time. He's got enough time back there to look for a receiver, but never found one as the defense finally got to him. And that would have to be a coverage sack, as he really had plenty of time, but just didn't have anybody to throw to.
Well, he was trying to direct one of the receivers to move into the open area. And, of course, if you do that, that gives that defensive line another second or two to catch you, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, we've had a change of field. The quarter, we're in the fourth quarter now, and it's picked off. And the interception again. Beauvois, as he is down inside the Kecoughtan 10, 15. Let's see where they mark it. They say he went out of bounds at the 14, but a huge interception for the Chantilly Chargers.
Well, that's not what you want to do starting the fourth quarter. You finally got the wind to your back, Tim. You got a chance to maybe throw the ball a little bit, and the first pass you throw is intercepted, but that was a good job by the Chargers that time.
They lead 15-8. This is Roble, and Roble, he tried to jump over a man.
He was hurdling or what he was doing.
Jumping for joy, I guess. He got all the way down to the 10-yard line, but a very strange play, but picked up positive yardage, gain of 5 on the play, second down and about 5. They need to get just inside the Kecoughtan 5-yard line. 15-8 is the score here in the fourth quarter. Tim Cole and Bob Hintz, hope you're enjoying this Division VI semifinal action. Kecoughtan and Chantilly. Left side handoff down to about the 6-yard line. And again, the ball carrier, number 6, Michael Roble.
Tim, this is a case where if you're Kecoughtan defense, boy, you got to come up strong here. You hope to keep them out of the end zone, and you still got a chance in this game. You got the wind to your back. Get some positive things going on offense. If they score here, then you have really a tremendous amount of to overcome the points at this point, if I made myself clear.
Scipione, handoff, and enough for the first down. First and goal at the 2. So the Chargers, leading by 7, have the ball at the Kecoughtan 3-yard line. They mark it now, but it's first and goal.
Well, you and I have seen Chantilly try to go up the middle on this Kecoughtan defense when they get down here close to the goal line, and have had but one time had success. Most of the time they will find going outside, so let's see what they try to do.
Up the middle, nothing happening to speak of. That defensive middle is just too tough.
Well, you think you would learn after a while, would you?
Yeah, you know, we talked about it earlier. You know, they went up the middle, up the middle, up the middle, and it just didn't work. And then they tried to throw the ball, and the interception occurred in the first half.
Well, then they finally got the touchdown when they went wide, faked that inside and pitched it to the back going wide. So we'll see if they try to do that. Kecoughtan will be aware of it.
The quarterback, Scipione, not much there. He may have gotten down to the 2.
Well, he was trying to follow the first man in and try to come off of him, use him as a blocker. But the Warriors' penetration on defense, that defensive line's doing a great job coming across that line of scrimmage and stopping them.
Third and goal, a crucial third and goal for the Warriors. This is Beauvois, and he will not get in. That will be a 4th and goal coming up for the Chantilly Chargers. Great defensive effort.
Tried to go outside that time, but Kecoughtan was expecting a great call defensively. They will bring in probably, well, it looks like they're going to try a field goal, Tim.
They will bring in the field goal kicker, Scaldaferri. It'll be an 18-yard attempt. The ball will be spotted at the 8-yard line. Quarterback Scipione is the holder. Of course, you always have to worry about a fake on this play.
Well, and it's reared angle, too, so let's see if it happens.
Scaldaferri has it through the uprights, and it is good. So the Chantilly Chargers increase their lead now here in the fourth quarter. They lead by 10, 18-8.
So now you're Kecoughtan, you have two scores that you have to get, and to win it, you've got to have a two-point conversion on the touchdown. But in this case, what you want to do is you get a chance to tie it, you tie it, go into overtime, and it's like starting a new game. Kecoughtan's offense has really got to get to the point now. We don't have much time left in this fourth quarter.
Scaldaferri kicks it away. Taken at the 18-yard line. This is Quash, Derek Quash, out to the 24-yard line. As you see the score here in the fourth quarter, I would guess we're about halfway through the fourth quarter. Can't tell you the exact time remaining in the fourth quarter. Kecoughtan facing elimination in Division 6, the semifinals. The 11-1 Kecoughtan Warriors and the 11-1 Chantilly Chargers battling, and it's been a battle. From the 33-yard line, Jovan Quillen, straight back, draw play. And the draw play good for about 5 out close to the 39-yard line.
And that's not a bad call, because if you're Chantilly, you're going to have your defense called expecting to pass. And a lot of times that draw play will pick up a lot of yardage. Picked up 5, that's positive.
Second down and about 5 for the Warriors. Quillen going for the bomb, and it's incomplete. Double coverage on the far side at the 35-yard line of Chantilly. Double coverage, and they were able to bust up the play, so it'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 to go for the Kecoughtan Warriors.
Well, that was a pretty accurate pass, Tim, because when you have double coverage like that, a lot of times you'll end up getting it intercepted, but that ball was right to the receiver. Good job by the defense to knock it away.
Quillen on 3rd and 5, and he fumbles the football. A scramble for the ball. They are going to indicate who's got the ball, and they say Chantilly has come up with it.
Big play for the Chantilly defense, Tim, because now they can run some time off that clock and really put the pressure on the Warriors.
Quillen slow to get up as he was shaken up on the play. And Kurt Newsom over there on the far sideline checking him out, talking to him, make sure, because he goes back right in on the defensive side of the ball. So they'll make sure he's all right. 43-yard line. Zhu down to the 42. Gain of a yard.
The Kecoughtan defense have done a good job today, giving up 2 plays, and one big play, the block punt was not against the defense. The defense basically has only given up the 1 touchdown.
But a penalty against the Warriors. Personal foul on the play. So the good defensive play will be negated by the penalty.
We will pick a Buckwalter Engraving Island Hardware Sporting Goods player of the game. Tim, we will talk about the people that we're going to...
Well, we lost the play there, but they are down to the Kecoughtan 6-yard line again, leading 18-8 are the Chargers of Chantilly as the weather conditions continue to worsen here at W.T. Woodson. And our man, Mr. Braxton, manning the camera today, and a good defensive effort by Jose Negron, number 1, in on the stop to stop Zhu right in the backfield for a loss of about 4.
Well, he's one of the players that we're looking for as a player of the game, along with Quillen and Mann have done a great job. Dickerson, of course, Mr. Inside and Outside Quash, and Morant, just to name a few players that we're looking at as the player of the game for the Kecoughtan Warriors.
Well, who are you leaning towards here as we're getting late in this ballgame? What's your inclination here, Don?
Well, right now I'm leaning towards Lawrence Dickerson, Tim. That interception in the end zone, and
kept them in the game.
Yes, he did. Plus, he's done an outstanding job on defense as a safety man for the Warriors.
Good pressure on the quarterback, Scipion, that time caused him to throw the ball before he really wanted to, and that forced the incompletion. So it's 3rd down for the Chargers at the Kecoughtan 11-yard line. 3rd down and goal.
Oh,
and it'll be fourth down and goal as in on the stop, number 3, Keith Mann, as he met the running back just as he got the handoff, and it's going to be fourth and goal.
That was like a fake. It was going to pass the ball, but they didn't even go for the fake. They went for the ball. Good job that time by the Kecoughtan defense, led by Keith Mann.
So Scaldaferri now will try a field goal of about 31 yards, as the spot will be the 21. And again, horrible weather conditions for passing or kicking the ball. Scaldaferri already with an 18-yarder to make it 18-8. The kick is up. It's long enough, but it's no good. So again, the Kecoughtan defense holds after allowing a first and goal, and on fourth and goal, the best that Chantilly could come up with was a 31-yard field goal attempt that was wide to the left. Time running down here. There's the score. The Kecoughtan Warriors in the semifinals, Division 6 of the Group AAA. Tim Cole and Bob Hintz from W.T. Woodson High School. First down from their 20-yard line. Jovan Quillen. And he is going to be sacked back at the 10-yard line.
Well, Tim, he was slipping around, too. Then you can see that the field conditions have really deteriorated. The second half is really, the rain is coming down much harder than it had been during that first half.
Well, I got to tell you that Chantilly has also done an excellent job on defense, not only throughout this game, but primarily here in the second half, as they've just completely shut down the Kecoughtan offense.
So they made some good adjustments during halftime. Their coaching staff got together and made some adjustments on defense, and you're right, they shut down the Warrior offense.
Quillen standing inside of his 5, throws, completes the pass at the 20-yard line, and that will actually be out to the 22, but it'll be well short of a first down. Carlton Morant on the receiving end of the pass. It'll bring up a third down and about 8. Or is that second down now? I guess it's second and 8. Hard to see the yard markers in the rain.
It's hard to see anything. I need some windshield wipers on my glasses.
Dunlap comes wide to the near side. Split backfield, Quillen with his team trailing by 10 points. Feels some pressure, and he is going to be sacked again. Coming from the right side, same play, number 1, Charles Douglas, as he was in to sack Quillen on the play. And Quillen very slow to get up. And as a matter of fact, the official stopped the clock for a moment, and now we've got a penalty on the play. If things weren't bad enough for the Warriors, a 5-yard illegal motion penalty that probably in all likelihood will be declined by Chantilly, and it is.
Absolutely, Tim. And what's happening is that defense could just tee off. They know that the Kecoughtan's got to pass the ball, and they just teeing off on when the ball is snapped. They're just worrying about nobody but getting back to the quarterback.
Fourth and long. Grimm standing inside of his 5-yard line, gets the kick away, takes the Kecoughtan roll all the way out across midfield. So a good effort by Mike Grimm, certainly other than the one he had blocked, and that was through no fault of his. He's had a fine day kicking the ball in incredibly bad conditions.
Well, Tim, he slipped as he kicked the ball that time and got tremendous roll out of it. I'm surprised the ball rolls as well as it does, as soggy as it is, as that field is.
So Chantilly now with a 10-point lead have the ball at their 47-yard line, 1st and 10 here in the fourth quarter. Chantilly trying to advance to the finals of Division 6. And the Warrior defense just starting to break down a little bit now as Mark Matthey picks up yardage enough for a first down all the way to the Kecoughtan 41-yard line.
And Tim, I would imagine that defense getting a little tired. They've been out on that field almost this whole second half and have not gotten a lot of breathing time.
Again, under terrible conditions, our man, our mutter, Mr. Braxton, did a great job bringing you the camera work here from W.T. Woodson. And we appreciate his effort to do an excellent job so that you could get a chance to see how the Warriors did in their battle with Chantilly. guess we should also talk about our director.
And who's that?
Scotty Bowers.
Oh,
and our graphics person. Who's that?
that must be Bev Penn.
All right, well, we got them all covered then. And who are you?
I'm Tim Cole.
I know you're not. So you're
I'm
doing
not.
all right until you got to that. Chantilly.
Well, Tim, we will go with Lawrence Dickerson as the player of the game for the Kecoughtan Warriors. You got any problem with that?
Not a bit. And certainly a number of players were excellent candidates for the award. But Dickerson with that huge interception in the first half to keep the Chargers off the scoreboard, as Kecoughtan has called a timeout now to conserve as much time as they can here late in the fourth quarter. And there you see the Kecoughtan faithful covering up. They do their best to try and stay both dry and warm.
Well, I think it's going to be a little tough to do either in these conditions.
Yep. We're having a tough go of it. This game videotaped for your pleasure on the 30th of November, 1996, from W.T. Woodson High School in Fairfax, Virginia. Chantilly will be more than content just to run the clock out. Handoff, moving to the right side. That is again Beaujeu, and again Kecoughtan calls the timeout. That's the second timeout that they've called here in the second half.
Well, we do appreciate the PA announcer announcing that this will be played over Channel 5. He's given us a numerous of times he has made the announcement over the loudspeaker, so we do thank him for doing that.
And as it appears, and apparently the Warriors will not be able to come back from this deficit, we do want to mention to you, of course, that the Hampton Crabbers will be in the finals. They will take on, well, an opponent to be determined, but that game will be played in the Richmond area, and a site and an exact time to be determined. So check the newspaper or call to the school and get out there, travel to Richmond, do your thing, get up there and follow the Hampton Crabbers as they are in the quest for their second consecutive championship of Division 5. And now we have a penalty being assessed against Kecoughtan, an unsportsmanlike conduct call. So somebody must have said something that they had bottled up for as long as they could, and shared that thought with the officials.
Well, you can see this on the screen, Tim. We're looking through raindrops. That wind is really blowing.
Rain and wind and a 10-point deficit. Three major factors against the Kecoughtan Warriors. A first down at the Kecoughtan 25-yard line. The Warriors have called two of their timeouts. This is Mark Matthey as he crosses the 25 to about the 23. And again, the Warriors now just helpless, as all they can do is hope for a fumble or a turnover of some sort.
And that looks like it's the last timeout by the Warriors.
Yep. Third and final timeout for Kecoughtan here in the second half. As you look at the Kecoughtan bench and their coaches, and let's take our hats off to the Warriors. What a superb season for this Kecoughtan team. Just coming into this game, their only blemish on their record, a 3-point loss to the Hampton Crabbers, who are ranked number 7 in the country. So Kecoughtan up there with the best. And now taking the knee and dropping straight back is Scipione, as they'll just try to run out the final seconds here in the fourth quarter. And Chantilly will advance to the finals, representing the northern region.
Well, Tim, the eastern region, particularly the peninsula area, is well represented in football because York High School is in the Division II playoffs.
Kecoughtan, York, Hampton. We've got early motion on the defensive side of the ball. Looked like Kecoughtan was way offside.
He had made the tackle and was down before the flags came out. I think the officials are getting a little tired too.
Yeah, that was an encroachment call against the Warriors, so that'll cost them 5. All of this is rather a moot point at this juncture. And the clock is restarted with the movement and the penalty assessment against the Warriors. The These officials anxious to get out of there too, as
I'm sure they are.
They are getting soaked in this rain and cold wind. W.T. Woodson. Chantilly with the ball at the Kecoughtan 20. Again, Scipion takes the ball, drops to one knee.
And that should be just about it, Tim.
Well, again, we can't see the clock, but it would appear that that is going to be all she wrote as the Kecoughtan Warriors and the Chargers head to their respective benches. A game effort by the Kecoughtan Warriors. They led at halftime by 8-0. Their defense truly kept them in the game the whole afternoon. But eventually it turned out it was just too little offense on the part of the Kecoughtan Warriors.
It really was, and two big plays by the Chantilly Chargers, Tim. The long run during the third quarter that set up the first touchdown, and then, of course, the block punt that set up a field goal. You know, those big plays take away from those two big plays, and we got a different winner.
Well, but that's why you have those plays, because your defense comes in and makes the big plays, just as Kecoughtan's defense has all year long. This time it was Chantilly's defense that made the difference with the block punt and ultimately scoring the touchdown, which really turned out to be the difference in this ball game. That score you see there is, it looks to be 16-8, but in fact the light is out on the board. It is a final score of 18-8 as Chantilly wins and hands Kecoughtan just their second defeat of the season. The Kecoughtan Warriors finish 11-2, and again our congratulations to Kurt Newsom and all the Kecoughtan Warriors for a superb effort. So that's going to do it from W.T. Woodson. For Bob Hinson, the Channel 5 crew, thanks for watching. Good afternoon, everybody.